Good evening, everybody. I hope you are well. Yes, I'm back. Obviously, I think Richard's lost his sense of sanity, really, but never mind. I hope you are all well and having a not bad week. Remember, we are on Wednesday, so we're on the over the hump day. By all means, drop your hellos down so I get to say hello to you all. Please share the page out or the channel out. Please share us out because it allows us to connect to more people. And remember, SPTV is 100% free readings, guaranteed. And if you want to donate to the channel, that would be absolutely amazing. And last, finally, don't forget to review if you have had a reading with one of us lovely mediums. Now I'm going to do the serious bit. I was going to do the hellos, but I want to get the serious bit out of the way, and then we can all settle down into an evening of mediumship. You will see at the bottom of the comments, especially if you're on Facebook. I'm not too sure about YouTube. You will see, there it is on YouTube. Thank you, Richard. You will see that somebody very naughty is currently pretending to be SPTV. And they are approaching individuals who comment on on our lives to say that they are SPTV. They are asking you to be their friend, and then they are asking you for your bank details or your credit card details. Now, I can guarantee you on this channel and on every other mediumship channel person I know that we will not go out to you and ask for any money. So if you do receive a message from somebody claiming to be SPTV, please block and report, because it lets Facebook know, the company know, that there is somebody out there trying to pretend to be us. And it's obviously not an honourable thing to do. So that was the first bit. That's the horrible bit, when we don't want to talk about the nasty bits. We want to bring up joys and pleasure of spirit coming through. So with that done, are we okay to start doing some hellos, Richard? And don't forget to say hello, Richard, because he gets very, very upset. It's always me. So make sure you say hello to Richard. Now I'll pull up all the hellos. Right, let's get comfy and bring in spirit. I'm just waiting for Richard to throw me some hellos. Oh, he's throwing 50p in at me, so it's got that serious. Hello, Sue. She said hello to you as well, Richard, all the way from Melbourne in Australia, and you're watching us from YouTube. Remember, if you find that your Facebook is a bit wobbly, you've got the YouTube channel, and if you're finding YouTube's wobbly, you've got the Facebook channel. Hello, Margaret. Lovely to meet you. And again, you're watching us from YouTube. Hi, Terry. Look, Richard saying hello to you as well. Hello, Terry from YouTube. Lovely to evening for you. Hello, Shelley. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming to join us. Ha, Richard, you just picked me. Hello, Maybe, as well. Lovely to see you again. Hello. Hello, Lynn, Richard, and everybody who's watching us on Facebook. Hello, Christine. Lovely to see you. And lovely that you're saying hello to everybody else. And don't forget, if you recognise somebody's name, even if you've never met each other, say hello, because we are a community. Hello, Ben. Good evening to you. And you're watching us from Facebook. Hello, Carol, and shared. Thank you so much, Carol, for sharing. That sometimes for us mediums, that's the most important thing, is sharing, because it allows us to be able to connect to more people. So please, by all means, share out. Starlight, I'm loving all the flowers in the picture, all the way from YouTube. Hello, Kate. Oh, you're in France. Well, I will say a little bit of French and go bonjour, Kate, all from Facebook. Hayley, hello, lovely to see you, and she's watching from Facebook as well. Hello, Lindsay, and you've said hello to everybody as well. Hello, Lindsay, and all the way from YouTube. Why is it all the way from YouTube? That just feels far away. Hello, Gina, lovely to see you, and you're watching from Facebook. Wednesday, good day, Wednesday. Wendy, good day, Wendy, all the way from Australia. Hello. Hi, Michelle. Oh, it's Richard only. I'm still going to say hello, Michelle. Hello, Michelle, and you're in Nottingham. Hello, loving the picture. Oh, Richard's now throwing me all the hello, Richard. So Richard says hello to Christine, who's watching us from YouTube. Richard. Natalie, Richard says hello, watching from Facebook. Honestly, the comedy value we have here. Hello, Don, and I see you're saying hello to the whole of YouTube. Hello, and you're in Canada. Lovely to meet you. Hello, Amanda. Lovely to see your lovely face from Facebook. Hello, Lindsay. Lovely to meet you. And Jess, good evening to everybody here. Richard says hello, Gina. So hello, Gina. Zena. Oh, Uncle Richard. Oh no, I don't think we can go down the Uncle Richard unless Pamela is your. Oh, apparently. Oh no, that's fine then. If I hear that Pamela likes to call Richard Uncle Richard, so maybe I need to call him Uncle Richard just to add in extra wonder. I just say don't. No, he's my digital spirit guide, everybody. Hello. He's Richard would like to make it known that Pamela is not Richard's niece. She likes to tease him and wind him up. Pamela, keep on doing it, girl. Hi, Kim. Lovely to see you. And you're watching us from YouTube. Yes, that's what I was just. I'll do one more hello and then we'll go from there. Hello, Kerry Ann from Oriano, Canada. I always worry I'm going to say things wrong. I stick to spirit, and that's from Facebook. Now, talking of spirit, some of you will know me. Some of you have worked or seen me work before or had a reading from me. Those that are new, first of all, hello to the channel and hello to me. So I just like to explain how I work. Basically, your family around me anyway in spirit, but it's my side to say to them, do you know what, guys? I'm ready to work with you. So I'm a spiritual medium. Can work psychically, but every time I try to do that, spirit kicks in and tells me what I need to tell them. So to be honest, I work with spirit more than I work on a psychic level. Now, I'm very free of my mediumship, very high energy as well. So I do apologise for talking super fast. I do try to slow down. And basically, my attitude is at the end of the day, we are all individuals here. So we are individuals in the spirit world. Therefore, how your family members will communicate with me differently. Therefore, I don't stick to rigid sort of styles or formats of mediumship. I do get dates, I do get names, I do get months. I get all manner of things. I will pass these things over to you. If I don't understand, I will put my hands up and say, I haven't got a clue what they're talking about. But I have confidence that Spirit will, that you and Spirit know what I'm talking about or what they're talking about. Most recent one was when Richard helped me out. I think it was last week when I thought the Liverpool football song was sung by Elvis Presley. Yes, I did probably make myself, it was go away. But I have my lyric master. He did see, oh, well, I'm not going to get involved in that one. But I didn't understand what it meant. I knew the words, but when I spoke to the lovely lady, she went, no, I know what that means. She said to me, and it was played at my husband's wedding, funeral. So it was nice for me to not understand for you. So I'll give you everything. What I do ask, because this is a digital platform, and as much as I have 1,000,000% trust in spirit, I need to keep that spiritual connection with yourself. So if you can comment back with saying yes, no, Claire, I haven't got a clue, add a little bit of text if you want to. Obviously, don't give me everything, because then I'm not able to make that connection with spirit and I start doubting myself. So just yes, no, I can take that, Claire. That makes sense because of X, Y, and Z if I'm in an unsure. And I just asked you to comment back. If we get to a point where the Facebook's wobbling or YouTube is wobbling and when the comments are not coming back, what we'll do is I'll give you a bit of time. If you can't get back to me, not a problem. If we need to finish the message and move on to somebody else, we will do so. And I will try and get through to as many people as possible. Now, very finally, and then we will start. Because it's a digital platform, you have the opportunity to ask who you'd like to speak to, because your spiritual connection to your family, your loved ones is still there. And we all know sometimes we want a message from mum, dad, friend, nan, granddad. We don't want to hear from a great, great, great uncle Bob. So if you do want to make a connection with your past loved ones, you're welcome to. All you've got to do is comment and say, I'd like to, you need to speak to, and I will ask them to come forward. So with that, we will now get the lovely Richard to do the role on the comments, randomise the comments, and I will allow the first person to come through spirit for this person. And what I will say is, whilst Richard is preparing, if you're listening to a message and you think, gosh, this really resonates with me, I really can take this, please take that message. If it feels right here, it is your past loved ones. The bigger the page gets, or the bigger the channel gets, Spirit will use double links and we'll use double connections to connect to more people, because they're aware that we have a lovely audience and not everybody gets their message straight away. Right, I've done my speech. That's it. Spirit knows I'm ready. And I know I've got a dad walking in the door. So, Richard, if you can spin that light. Oh, I've got to do a hello as well. Okay, which has just asked me to do one more hello from Joe, who is the first time seeing me. So hello. And you haven't been on the channel for a while. Oh, I'm so glad you've come back home, shall I say. And I hope you have a lovely evening watching us this evening. Right, okay, so just come through. I do feel like I've got a dad coming through. It's come through. I want to give the name Peter, or a Peter or a Paul. This is the first thing I want to give. Right, where am I going? I do get a lot of Peters and Pauls. Do you know what? I keep getting fly away Peter, fly away Paul, Richard. That's why I keep getting lots of, and I get lots of Peters at the moment. Peters and Pauls. Right, where am I going? Where am I going? I can feel this person. Right. Richard, just do my names for me. Right, Ben Davis. Ben, I'd like to come to you if it's okay, please. I do ask that question. I know the answer is yes, because you will comment. However, I work in churches and centres in around Essex, and it's always good practice. So, Ben, I'd like to come to you. Now, as I've got this gentleman stepping forward, he does come through with a fatherly figure. If he isn't dad, he would be your granddad. But this gentleman acted like dad. So I will ask if dad's in spirit. If it's not dad, it will be your granddad, but he was like your dad, or you did a lot of things with him, because I've got a real strong, and I've got, it sounds weird, I've got an, do I, yeah, very traditional gentleman. I wouldn't say a man's man, but he feels very, very traditional in his mannerisms, is what I've got. So I will ask, is dad in spirit? If it's not, it'll be your granddad, but he was like, took on many dad roles, is what I'm getting from him. And I had the name Peter or Paul. So I'll just let Ben comment. Right, where are we going with this? What do you want to talk about? Right, come and give me some months while we're waiting for Ben to confirm your connection. Right, I need to talk about February is important, Ben. It is a birthday party on anniversary, so he's just told me February's important. Okay, he also talks to me about I need to talk about September as well, is important as a birthday party and anniversary. And what other month? I always do 3 months. I don't know why. What's the other month you want to give me? Right. I also want to talk about June's important. I know I jump around in dates, but I need to give June as a birthday party and anniversary. So Ben, if you can come back and let me know whether I've got this right connection with you, sir, I would really appreciate it, just so I know we are on the right. You don't know, don't worry about names, they're fine. I get given them, I have to pass them over. They could well be names over there, so don't worry about the names. Birthday's February, brilliant, okie dokie, that one's ticked. Right, okay, I need to give also, I've got 2 other names to give you, Ben. I need to give you Andrew and I need to give you Scott, and you're the birthday in September. Right, okay, we've got our connection. Whoop, whoop. Get excited. This is when I get all excited. Right. Okay. And I know I need to give you the name Andrew and I need to give you the name Scott. But I also need to recognise there's 2 boys. Now, either you're one and you've got a brother, or you've got 2 sons. I need to recognise 2. And there is also, he's talking to me about you're having to step up or step in at the moment. So I don't know whether he's making reference to one of these lads, a brother or sons that need your help and support. Remember, it could be a nephew, or whether you're having to sort of take on more of a active role in parenting. I don't know whether you're doing a little bit more around there, because he's just talking to me about you having to step up is what he's recognizing. If this makes sense, please let me know. If it doesn't, you're welcome to say it doesn't make sense, but I know I need to recognize this. Okay, why am I giving that said to me? There's a pub. It's a pub, and I want to go something like the Fox and Hounds. So there's I don't know what that means in reference to you, whether there is fox, yes, stepping differently. Okay, you know, as long as it makes sense to you. I've got the Fox, or like the Fox in Hound. So there's a I know it's a pub name. I need to recognise a pub with this gentleman or you. And I tell you, I kept getting green. So like it's in on the green. Now, I'm not saying that you like a drink or anything like that. It's just giving me this pub and this pub name. So I don't know whether that means that somebody was a landlord or whether you would remember this gentleman in the pub or him liking his old haunt. But I need to pass that over to you. Right. Okay. Come through. But I know this is non-evidential, but he is coming forward saying how proud he is of you, because there is this real stepping in. It, there is this sense of you taking on more responsibility, and there was somebody around you that didn't do this, because he sort of says you've broken the cycle or you've broken the chain. So there's a sense of a feeling that somebody in your life wasn't there for you, or whether you've sort of said, you know what, I want a different life for my family, because he's so proud of you. But it's like you've consciously made a choice to be different, is what he's saying. So I hope this makes sense to you. I will continue. I always go, if I don't get any comments, it's a yes, then I'm going that way. But he wants to recognise this. Okay, what else do you need? I need to give you the name Kate or Catherine, and it's a kicking curse, so I need to pass that over. I can take a pub with a bowling green. Pub green. Excellent, that makes sense. I'm glad to see. That's why I give you everything. So if I don't understand, I know it'll make sense in there. And I have had this song several times. Sorry, I'm not gonna sing too much, but I've got welcome home, welcome home. Yes, going through it, and I've made choices to be different. Okay, so it makes sense. And I've got to give you that song, welcome home. And he's, yeah, that's the only lyrics I need, which is going to start laughing at me saying, but I know I need to give is welcome home. Well, no, not going to do anyone. But it is like you have consciously changed, or you are consciously being different. And he is so proud of you, because this is like breaking a cycle, is what he said to you. So I need to recognize this for you. And he is, okay, all right. I'm going to give that spirit keep throwing years to me at the moment. It is a bit of a hit and miss, I will say. I hear the year. I don't know where at the moment where it's relevant. That's another learning area for me, but I've got to give you 1978. So I don't know if that means that somebody's birthday, party, anniversary. My brother's wife is Kate. Oh, there's the Kate. Brilliant. Birthday, passing, or anniversary. I just got told 1978. And somebody loved cricket, because I've just been given a cricket bat, and I don't know, but this feels like this is historical. Somebody likes cricket. Yeah, not my favourite sport, but I need to recognise this. Oh, brilliant. I know it's evidential in a different way. Normally it's nice to sort of say this, but the point is there's different, and he is just like, good on you. Is there anything else, sir? I've got to give you the name Robert as well. They throw names at me left, right, and centre, but I need to give you Rob Robert, so I'm going to pass that one over to you as well. And just know that it's. Okay. Apparently, Richard said he was whizzing, because I'm whizzing, he's whizzing along, and the text was copied. So don't worry about Kate, that came from another way. But I will say, if the lady said about the Kate and can take everything else, then please take the message as well, because as I said, as we are growing on our digital platforms, Spirit knows this and are aware of this. And because of that, they will have two energies will come through, and the message will hit a few people. So if it feels right here, not here, here, then we know the message is going to you as well. So Ben, I know it, like I said, it's non-evidential in the sense of it's something anybody can say, but I hope the rest of the bits make sense to you as well, to show this gentleman is proud, because he's like, it's a cycle that's changed. Okay, thank you, sir. And there's a military connection somewhere, because I've got military and I've got well-being, so I don't know whether they're connected or whether he just went well-being and then military. So I don't know if he means them together or whether they're just two separate things, but I needed to recognise well-being and military. Whether they come together or I don't know, because he just said them so quickly. But men, I shall say thank you so much for allowing me to make your connection. I will close it so I can get through to somebody else and say thank you so much for feeding back. It really does help when we are doing our messages from spirit, and it helps us raise the energy. So thank you so much. Brilliant. So, Nikki, you said, thank you, Richard. I've got my wonderful Richard here. You can take Peter, you can take Dad, you can take Granddad, you can take Feb, you could take September. And I know Richard said that you can, oh, and my partner's Peter. I'm just reading all the comments that Richard's throwing up. My partner is Peter. Brilliant. My granddad has passed, and so is my dad. He's a twin. My daughter was born in February. My son was born in September. And I know you said you could take the name Kate. He passed. He had a pub before he passed. Brilliant. Okay. Keep going, Richard. And your brother's wife is Kate. Right. What I'm going to do, Nikki, because you could take everything there, and my dad was in the army. Brilliant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Spirit and your lovely dad in spirit to just step forward a little bit stronger, because you could take everything else. Now, I know the message was Ben, and I know it was really important, but your dad has clearly made himself known with the message, and obviously you and Ben must have similarities for the message to come through. So I am going to ask your dad to come through. Right, okay, you come through. I've got a name straight away I need to give to you, Nikki. I need to give you Tony. Tone, yes, Tone. Tone or Tonys would obviously be an Anthony. I've got to pass that name over to you. Okay, I need to give you, I know it's an old-fashioned name, but I need to give you Mary. That's a lady in spirit rather than here. Right, okay. And he's talking about the reason why he's nipped in, and he is, I've nipped him. I've popped in is basically the word he's using. So when I get wording like that, I like to give that, because I know sometimes that would be the word they use. So he's nipped him. I come on here, spirit comes through. Oh, I'm so glad. Nipped in. Now, you are getting okie dokie. Right. Okay. Right. Okie dokie. Right. Okay. But this gentleman is talking about nipping in, popping in. This is what he would have done. So I need to pass that over. Right. Okay. There is a bit of a telling off for you, and I do apologise. It's not a telling off, because I just think to myself, they can say it. What I do need to say though is he's given me a feeling. The reason why he's nipped in is because either there is something that you are dying to do, but you're putting off. Now, what I'm getting a feeling is it's about learning, is what he said. Okay, it's about learning, is it, sir? Right. Either you're looking to learn spiritually, and there is something that you are looking to grow and develop, or there is something about you wanting to do about work. There is something very important about okay, you're missing a beat. Missing a beat? All right, I'll give it to you. You're missing a beat, or you're skipping a beat. So there's something around you that either you've put off or you think you can't do at the moment. Welcome to my world when it comes to things like that in spiritual world. But spirit, your dad and this lovely gentleman is just saying it's time to push yourself forward, because you have, thank you, he's telling me you have picked up, either you're picking up names, or you're picking up things before you realize. So your psychic level is kicking in. So I don't know whether you, like I said, it's a work thing or a spiritual thing, but it's like time to sort of step it up a gear. So I hope that makes sense for you, Nikki. It's just yeah, I need to do it, and I'm like this with you. So there is a sense that either you've got a little bit of okay, is that what it is? Then all right then. Gosh, your dad's like restless energy in your hands. So it might be that you need to be doing some work with your hands, whether that would be working with cards, or as in my world, my hands go all over, or even a healing side of it. I just feel like my hands are fuzzy, energy's working around you. So it's just recognizing this area for you. So it's something for you to consider. At the end of the day, they're up there, we're down here, we're the ones that have got to live our lives. We can only take their advice and guidance. It's up to us whether we choose to go forward with it. But it just makes me feel there's something you've been putting off, and it's like, off you go. As I said, a lot of you will get chivied along, but I'm glad the rest of it made sense to you, Nikki, and I'm glad you could make them connections. I will. Okay. Right, okay. Hang on. Your spirit is he is sort of talking to me a bit more. Right, come on, just do one more thing, right? Because I know you've got the other bits, right? I've either got the name Barry or Larry. Is that I can hear the Harry sound, so that would only be a Barry or a Larry. So these are the name I need to pass over to you as well. Is he okay? My lovely, of course they're all up there. Honestly, they're having a whale of a time up there with their you would I get okay, thank you, Sarah. He's given me a sense of a feeling that do I he wants to bounce the question back to you because he said to me, is this really the right question? I know that sounds a bit of a weird way because he's like to me, should you not be his name is Barry, okie dokie, thank you. I just say thank you and thank you for the Larry I was going to say thank you for the clarification. Really? I'm glad that makes sense to you. He's asked me, should you not be asking yourself that question? And I'm sure, oh bless you. Honestly, he's around you, he's getting, but he wants that, and that makes sense because I know you asked, and he went, no, ask her, is she okay? So you need to ask and check in with yourself, my lovely. But yes, there's something for you to be doing more spiritually, myself, my lovely. And I am going to close your connection only because I'm conscious that you was able to take so much there, and I've got loads of spirit people sitting here, but I will close the connection and say I hope that it's giving you lots of love and comfort. Obviously, same for Ben. Ben, if there's anything in what I said between that bit with the Nikki and it makes sense for you, please take it as well, because remember, it was a bit of a double link. And I will say thank you so much, Nikki, for allowing me to connect with you. Don't worry about your dad because your dad's worrying about you, my lovely. And I shall say thank you very much. Whew. Oh, bless. Oh, bless you, my lovely. Your dad's with you. That's the question he wants you to. You've got to look after yourself, my lovely. And I'm sure we're all sending you lots of love and healing. Right, okay. I think your dad could have me chatting for England, by the way. Okay, I have to be really firm with Spirit. Otherwise, they would have me chatting here for 15, 20, 25 minutes. Right, and we ain't got all that time. Okay, right, Richard, thank you. If you could spin the wheel again. And let's get some more comments. Right, I've got a mother come through, so I've got a mum coming through. Right, right, okie dokie. So what Richard's doing is he's going through all your names for everybody that's commented, and so he can see who is working with us at the moment. Right, right. I want to stay. Oh, that's back. I need to go to Andrea, please, if that's okay, because I know an Andrea, and all of a sudden the person went, me? Right, Andrew, I'd love to come to you. I knew I had a mum walking the door. And the reason why I needed to come to you, Andrea, was instantly your mum's made me tingle. But I work with an Andrea and she just went, Andrea. And I was like, oh. So yeah, and she's making my hair go tingly. Okay, my lovely. Right, I would love to come and work with you. Right. Your mum is buzzing. Right. No, the first thing is as she's coming through, she's making my hair really, on my head really, really tingly. They don't normally do that to my hair. They normally do it to my legs. But I need to recognise. So first of all, I don't know whether there was an issue with mum and her hair or her head, or whether you have noticed your scalp tingling, because it's instantly her energies come through and I'm playing with my back of my hair on the left hand side and I'm just all really, really excited. But I know there's an importance to hair as well, Andrea. So that's the first thing I need to pass over to you. Right. Okay. That's an unusual name. Right. I've got to give you the name. No feedback yet. Okay, no problem. I'm sure Andrew will come back. Richard's just sort of so just give me a heads up. We haven't had any feedback yet. I'm going to carry on because we want to try and see if we can get in touch with Andrew, especially as she says she's never had a message from her mum. But remember, we can always do playback. Right. I need to give the name Connie. I've never had the name Connie. If it's not Connie, there's a dog that's a collie in spirit because I can hear the collar or Connie. So Andrea, does that make sense to you? The name Connie or a collie dog in spirit with mum? And I know I've got to recognise the tingling. I also need to recognise that January isn't a nice month. So there's a sense of must be a passing or an anniversary. Because I just need to recognise that she's telling me that January isn't an easy month. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not a birthday party. It could just be that January is a hard month. So I'll just give Andrew a moment. Andrew, if you can confirm back, just make sure that we can make that connection with you, and in case I'm meant to be with somebody else. Right, I'm just letting Richard's doing a little check for me. Right, let me come through whilst I'm waiting. Oh, thank you, Richard. Richard said he's just putting it out to Andrea. Right, okay. What else do I need to give this whilst this lovely lady's coming through? Right, and I need to give an Elizabeth. There's a Beth, or I need to give a Liz. I need to recognise and like Elizabeth, but I don't want to call it Elizabeth. I want to call it Beth. Collies in spirit. Oh yes, brilliant. Collies in spirit. Excellent. I'm glad that makes the next thing I need to know. We've got mum. Tingly hair, because she's still making me do it. If the hair or she passed with brain January and January's my okie dokie. So right. That makes sense. Thank you, Andrew, for coming back. It just means we can build this lovely connection with your mum, which is why it is important. But I know I need to give the name. Like, it's like Elizabeth, but you wouldn't have used Elizabeth. It would be like a Liz or a Beth. Now, if it isn't Elizabeth, it's that type of name where you would pull out different names. So like Isabel, but you'd have an Izzy, or an Abigail, but you wouldn't be known as Abigail, you'd be known as Abby. I need to give this. If it doesn't make sense in the names, don't worry about it, but I've got to pass it over. Right, now, she's also talked about, somebody's talked about giving blood, because I know you said about a bleed on the brain, but I need to talk about, somebody's been talking about giving blood, or they've done their donation card. But somebody's really, really practical about it, or logical. So I don't know whether that was mum that had the conversation with you, or whether somebody else has recently had the conversation, because I need to recognise about donations, either blood or organ donations. But it's like somebody's had a recent conversation, or it was a conversation, because it's like people are sticking. Right, thank you. And I know it's an easy one to say, but she's like, you ticked all the boxes for my funeral, because she says to me, not sure about this, don't worry about the names, it could easily be just somebody in spirit that she's with, don't worry about it. But I also need to recognise that she says to me, you ticked all the right boxes. So I don't know whether previous to her passing, she had a conversation. Well, obviously most people do have a conversation about how they've passed, but she says to me, you've had that's the blood. So that's the blood. That makes sense then. But I've got for you, like, you ticked all the boxes. Right, okay. And somebody, now, the imagery she's given me is an old photograph in a picture frame. And I get the feeling as she gives it to me and gives me the imagery that somebody's talked about putting it on, either putting a new picture frame in there or doing something with this picture. It's an old picture frame, an old picture, I beg your pardon. But there's been a conversation. Now, if it's not you, somebody else has talked about doing something with a picture of her in it. And there's also... she still loves the family photo picture, because she just gave me a picture and she said all the families to me, and I still love that picture. So there's a picture of you all in there, and I need to give you 5. So I don't know whether that means that you as a family unit was 5, or whether there is 5 grandchildren. I know I'm in lower numbers and I need to give 5. Okay, but I need to pass that over. Right. I need to give you 48, Andrea. Now, I'm not too sure what 48 means. It could either be an age of somebody's passing, or it could even be a door number. I have been renowned to give door numbers, but I need to give the 48. If that doesn't make sense in the moment, don't worry. Right, what I want to do. Okay, now she's given me the song for you, and I'm sure this is the one to show me. Also, I've just realised I'm holding my wrist. I lived at number 5. Oh, that's what the 5 is for. I'm glad that makes sense. But I'm also holding my wrist, and I was holding it as if to say I've either hurt my wrist, or I've got carpal tunnel, or something's hurt their wrist. Because all of a sudden I realised she made me hold my wrist. I do allow spirit to use my energy in however works for them, and I needed to recognise a wrist. So I don't know if somebody's hurt their wrist recently, or she hurt her wrist. I have to recognise the action, but there isn't a connection to what she means. So I'm passing that over and hope you know what they're talking about. But I know I need to give the wrist. Right, I need to talk about April, and then I need to talk about May being birthday, passing, and anniversaries. Don't worry about 48. I have no idea where I get these numbers. Right, okay. She is still giving me a tingly hair, so I will ask for you, Andrew. She's done it for me 3 times now. When you feel like your mum's not around you, just sort of take a check with your own senses on your body. I broke my wrist 23. Goes, okay, that makes sense, because I was just holding my wrist. Like I said, she's made my hair tingle. So what I would say is, if you're thinking about your mum, which no doubt you talk to your mum every day, just check in with your own senses in your body, because I'm having tingly hair all the time here, and you might find that you might find if you check in with yourself that your mum does sort of play with your hair, and it's like, ooh, it's what we used to say when we say people walk over our graves, because I just need to recognise it. And she's done it 3 times to me now, so it's important. It's important for her. Right, okay. Now she give me a song. Now I know this is my song to sort of say that they are around you, because I've just been given "Smile even though your heart is aching," and I know I get that a few times, but I need to give you that song as well. If the song doesn't have any relevance to you, yes, I've already done the hair, my lovely. She keeps playing with my hair. So she must have a thing about hair, because she keeps playing with my hair. Mama's pies, and I've been getting sensations in my head and being, right, my lovely. That makes sense then. Still check in with your own energies, because she keeps doing this with me and I keep getting taken there. So she is around you and she is completely aware of this, because she's done this now 4 times to me. Normally when I get tingly sensations, it's spirit saying you're on the right track. So she is aware of this, my lovely. Song for Smile. Hold it if it doesn't make sense to you at the moment. You may find it plays on the radio in the next couple of weeks, and then you'll know your mum's there. I also need to give you daffodils. She just told me to give you daffodils. So there's daffodils for you as well, Andrea. I need to recognise this. And I've just been given the name Josephine, Joyce. I know I need to give the name Joe. It feels feminine, so it would be Joe, Joyce, or Jolene. I'm not going to start singing on that one. I need to give you the name Joe, Joyce, Joan. I know exactly. I think Richard's getting me back from my singing, because he's singing in my hair. And Richard's now telling me he sings much better. Not at all, Richard. Yeah, that is your mum, but that would also be healing as well. It would be your mum, because she's done it several times to me, my lovely Andrew. It's just little ways to show you she is around you, and you can take daffodils. Just her way. She was so excited and buzzy to come through for you. The collies were like our collection. She is just so chuffed. But you're not alone, because she's done with you. Okay, and I've got to give you now. This might be a hold it thing. I've got wallpaper in front of me. Obviously, I haven't. I've got my washing at the moment. Shh. Um, I've got wallpaper in front of my vision and I've got like the little flowers on it, like little daisies, or little gerberas. So if it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. It may well be just a memory of mum once upon a time and having a very small flowery type of wallpaper, or whether there's something in the walls or something like that's got a wallpaper. Hold it. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. You just keep it in your mind, because you might find as you walk down the road, you see it and you go, there's my mum with me, but I know I need to pass that over to you. And Andrea, she is just so chuffed to be that she got through to you. She's because I never gave up and I never stopped. And with that, I will close your connection so I can don't worry about the wallpaper. Honestly, you'll find it and you'll go, oh, that's what she was talking about. Don't worry about the wallpaper. I will say thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. Your mum was so chuffed, and I shall say thank you very much. And I will ask Richard if we can go through with another name, please, Richard. Please. How much am I going to pay you? Nothing, Richard, because this is a free channel, remember. However, what I will say that if you would like to donate, because we said this is a free channel for mediumship, please, it isn't, I don't know the pennies, the prices and things like that, but if you want to donate to the channel, Richard's told me now I do know my pennies, because I've got my magical digital spirit guide. All it is 37p. Is that 37p in a week, month, year? What's going on, Richard? Just so I can give a bit more detail. £1, £1.50 a month to donate to help the channel run and help us continue to connect. So, Richard, I don't pay you, my lovely, because we do this for the love of our heart. But I do know that if you would like to donate, it would help the channel grow and for us to continue. But anyway, that's to the side. I'd like another name, please, Richard. Please. I need like some kind of spin wheel. Okie dokie. I need a wheel that goes for you lovely people, because you don't see behind the scenes, I'm a saddo. I come back on and watch it as a viewer. Obviously, I see all your names when I'm watching as a viewer, but for me, Richard pulls the names out. So if we don't ever get to say hello to you, it's not because we can't see you. It's just because the way the system's set up. I'm taking away the magic away. Right. Okay. Right. I want to come to Terry, if that's okay, please. Please, Terry Louise. One thing recently, Lindsay. Okay, no problem. Right, Terry, I'm playing with my hair. That's the first thing I've got to do. That. Hello, Terry. I'd like to come to you if that's okay. I'm playing with my hair. I know I put this out to blow. I'm twirling my hair and I haven't done that for a long, long, long time. So I don't know whether Evie, you're renowned for playing with your hair. I'm going to allow Spirit to do it 'cause it's quite nice actually. Either you're renowned for playing with your hair, or whether somebody in spirit would play with your hair. I need to recognise. That's the first thing I need to recognise, is that I'm playing with my hair and you play with your hair. Aha, it's you then. Because they're just sort of saying, and I'm sitting and I'm like proper twirling. Right, okay. I've got two people with me. I wouldn't say they're jostling for their attention, but they're both with me. Now, I feel like I've got and I twerk, you twerk like that. Okay. Just a little way to start making that connection. Okay, I've got to stop for 2 seconds. Right, I have got two people with me. I've got a lady and I've got a gentleman with me. I've got a sense of having a dad and a mum. Now, if it's not a dad and a mum, it would be a granddad and a mum, or it'd be a dad and a nan. I've got these two people, but they would be heavily influenced in your life. And the reason being is why sometimes it's hard to make the connection is because these people, our grandparents, can at times can equally be our parents as much as our grandparents. I need to recognise two people in spirit, and I will go with dad and nan, but if I'm wrong and it's mum and granddad, please, if you could, dad's in spirit, nan's also right. Okay, that's where I am. Thank you very much. But the lovely lady in spirit, there is a real strong maternal drive with her, so she does come through on a motherly vibe. But I know I've got that right. Okay. Right, I need to give you the name that starts with R, like, oh, there's two. There's two R's, is there, sir? Right, the first names. Remember, I give you the names because if I don't give you the names, I'll kick myself later down the line. I need to give you a Roger or a Robert as an R-O name, and I need to give you the name Rebecca. So I'm going to pass these two names because I just went R, and then I got Robert, Roger, and then I got Rebecca. Rebecca came out clearer than the Roger or the Robert, but these are the names I need to pass over to you. Right, okay. Somebody's an August baby, a summer baby. So, and I need to also recognise June. So somebody's either a mate, somebody's a Gemini, because I'm just getting a Gemini sense. So it'd be I can take Robert and Rebecca, they're twins. Sorry, if you've never watched me, I get really excited because it's just amazing the way spirit can come through. So I get really excited and it just helps my energy as well. But we was talking about months. We're talking about months. I know Richard's laughing at me. Look, this is why I'm here. I get so buzzily. Do you know what? Working with spirit's amazing. It is amazing. Anyway, let's get back to my names. I have got a birth. Somebody is a Gemini. Either their end of the May, the beginning of June is a Gemini. I need to recognise a Gemini. And somebody's a summer baby. So again, I know May, June could be a birthday. If not, we're in August. I just need to recognise that summer's really important, is what I'm being recognised. Also, somebody joked that they were glad they weren't a Christmas baby. So I don't know if somebody was or is expecting a little one around about Christmas. There's something about Christmas important, and it's like, I'm glad I missed it. Now, it does feel, and I will say, Phil, I understand May and summer baby. That makes sense. Excellent. Your dad's doing really, really well. Okay. And then also, all right, I'll do it in 2 seconds then. But yeah, I need this, an importance about missing something around about Christmas, whether that would be a baby. It doesn't feel like a passing. If it would be, it was an accepting passing, but there is something important. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. But I know I need to sort of be glad I missed Christmas. That's an important one. My birthday's at Christmas. Oh, is that what the Christmas is? Right, so it's a Christmas baby. Okay, so why am I missing Christmas then? There's something else about that. Oh, right, Richard. Richard's just gone because I'm not going to. Right, Richard. Shush. I can say you can come on. Right, I need to know about. There is something else now. as Richard pointed to me, it could easily be what the person from Spirit is sort of saying is the fact that they're not here. But I know about something being missed around about Christmas. There's something more important to that. So I know you're the Christmas baby, but I know it's a shame about missing something around Christmas. Right. Now, what was the other thing you gave me, sir, before we... Right, okay, thank you. Somebody either is he's used the phrase as mad as a March hare, or somebody absolutely loves Alice in Wonderland because I've got the Mad Hatter. Because I've got the so either somebody absolutely loves Alice in Wonderland, if so, you're my kindred soul, or somebody used to say somebody is as mad as a March hare, or the month of March is important because he just went March hare, and then that would always take me to Alice in Wonderland as well. So I need to recognise that. Now I don't know whether he's just making reference, and there is somebody who's talked about liking tea parties, because I've got a very unhappy and birthday to you to be. So I want to recognise either somebody liking afternoon tea, they're here, March is also important. So that's whether March is important, okay, so that makes sense. But I know somebody likes afternoon tea, or it's somebody here dressed up as a birthday. Okie dokie, right, that makes sense then. And that's why we had the birthday. Right, okie dokie. Whew, we're getting there. Right, that's a weird one. Really? I've never had that. Sorry, I do still have conversations with spirits whilst I'm talking, and you love those. We're kindred souls, Terry. I don't know whether this is a name or whether somebody's had problems with their car, because I've just been told Sheila's wheels. Now I know that's a car insurance, so I don't know, Terry, whether he is, and it feels present day. So either the name Sheila's important, or whether somebody's been having car troubles because he's around. Now it's present day. It's about him showing you that he's around you. And if it doesn't make sense to you, you might have to hold it, and then you'll go, oh yeah, Dad was around about that, because I need to recognise Sheila's wheels. Now the name Sheila could well be relevant, but I've got to recognise either some trouble with a car or insurance. I need to pass it over because he gave it to me. I'm passing it to you because I'm pretty sure you'll know what he's talking about. I also need to recognise two siblings. So either you're one or two, which obviously would be that, or I've got another female with you, but I feel like I've got a male. So I don't know whether you've got a brother and a sister that's like your sister-in-law, or whether there's three of you. I need to recognise a young lady and a young male also in your life of your generation. So I need to recognise this person. I had nothing. I have an so that's the shit. So he was around you. He just went, yeah. He said a few curse words as well. I have two. They're okay because he wanted to recognise that was important. And I've got you. Everybody's the same image as me, and then I know I've got to add people to that side. So that makes sense because he wants to recognise that. Right. He just sort of say he used a few choice words. Right. Somebody is either kind of got stuck in a rut when it comes to eating, or either your dad loved, again, just little things that show you they're around you. Sausage and mash. Oh, I do like a bit of sausage and mash. I need to recognise. Oh yeah, gravy, exactly. Yeah, Richard, I'm not going to freak you out because my one, whilst we're waiting for Terry to come back, is chicken sausages. See what Richard's reaction is like. Oh, he's never tried chicken sausages. Well, I can assure you there are several chicken shops, but there's a shop that sells them very, very cheaply. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because we all have to sort of think about money, and I'm not advertising who I'm talking about. Try chicken sausages. But yes, I'm waiting for Terry to come back, which is hence the reason why we're talking about chicken sausages. But I need to just rash plenty of gravy. Yeah, see, look, you and Richard are now kindred souls with plenty of gravy because I just needed to recognise this. Right, okay. Thank you, sir. I asked him what his message was. Now, not every message we get from our past loved ones are going to be defined like monumental messages. A lot of the time I find with spirit, it's like, do you know what? I got a chance to say hello, so I like to do, and that's why they come through. What he is asking for you, though, Terry, is he said to me, you need, and again, free will, but you need to stop and think about yourself before you think about everybody else, because I get a sense of a feeling, a very, very tiredness around you is what he's talking to me, and a weariness. But he sort of says, and it's either you're, I'm no doctor, I'm a PA. There's no way I would be able to do that, but I want, because it's amazing, but I've got a sense of a feeling of being like either your vitamins are down, either an iron deficiency or a sense that something like that, because it's like, do you know what, vitamin C, iron tablets and things like that. I need to recognize about you putting some time into yourself. Yes, and weary, yes, okay, it makes sense. And I need to give the NHS around you. I keep in your imagery, I see rainbows because I always think of what we've done in COVID with the rainbows for the NHS. I need to give you the NHS. So I don't know whether you were, yes, I've just started taking multivitamins. Okay, brilliant, thank you. Well, your dad's chuffed with that one. And I've got to give you the rainbow. So I don't know if somebody works in the NHS or a caring industry, because he's just thrown that into me. Right, and I need to give you the name Graham. I used to work for the NHS, okie dokie, because he's just like little things around you, Terry, just to say he's here. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's kind of gone off to, so I've gone off to do my own things, he's me, but I pop in and say hello. But yeah, it's about giving yourself some time for you, really. Okay, pardon? Okie dokie. All right, then, no problem. Let me see if I get anything else. He's starting to sing at me again. I've got to tell Richard to stop singing. Right. It's because he wants sausages. Right, okay. And Terry, I need to, right, what else do you want to give me, Seth? Right, I need to give you the name Ryan or a Brian. I need to hear the Ryan or a Brian. So I need to pass that name over to you. Okay, bless you. He's just is around you. And what's that? Right. Oh, you've recently chose to buy an Oodie because I've got you in like one of my favourite things, an Oodie. Oh, he's called Brian. Oh, excellent. I'm so glad that makes sense. Thank you. Um, thank you very much, Spirit. But I need to also give you an Oodie, and it's about giving you comfort and giving you security, is what he says. But he is around you like that big Oodie with a hood on there, just giving you some security and comfort, my lovely. And with that, I will close the connection and say thank you so much. I hope it's given you comfort and upliftment, and I shall say thank you very much. Are you just bought your two? Are you going to have to get one for yourself, my girl? They're lovely. I do like an Oodie. Right, okay. Your head hurts. Oh, adverts. I thought Richard said his head hurt. I was like, Richard, are you okay? Have I really driven you to like, I don't know, to have a headache? Right, okay. We're not, he hasn't got a headache, fortunately. He said we've got to now move to the adverts. So thank you, Terry, and I shall allow for the adverts to roll.
Are you planning a paid spiritual event, or looking for something to do this weekend? Then visit myspiritualevents.com. You can browse the listing, view the event details, watch a YouTube clip, look at a mini gallery, select dates and times, pay for tickets using PayPal or your debit card. Organizers can register for free and start selling tickets within minutes, be it for their online or in-person spiritual event. As an organizer, you will have access to your own admin dashboard, which will display information such as your income and your bookings, all in a simple and user-friendly display. It's free to use. Join and upgrade to an organizer. Come and visit us at myspiritualevents.com.
Start your day tomorrow from 11 a.m. with Bree. The show consists of future and past life readings. Join Bill Hughes during his Collective Consciousness show tomorrow night from 8 p.m. Bill is joined by different guests offering a demonstration of mediumship.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to have a quick break. Right, before we start into doing some more hellos, let's talk about what is on the rest of the show this week. Now, I know tomorrow we have got a special event. Let's do the special event first before we get on to my friend. We have got a mediumship demonstration with Deb, Matt, and Kirsty. Now, I can tell you, I have seen Matt and Kirsty live. They have come to Wickford Spiritual Church. They're amazing. Their energy's brilliant. And I've watched Deb on one of the other Aligned events. Now, this is a paid event. The show starts at 7:30. It is at Roebuck Inn, which is in Fareham. and it's £10. Darren, thank you very much, Richard. And it's £10. If you want to look, you can look further down the page and you'll see it there, and you can click on there to join it. And as I said, it's 2nd of February, 2nd December, so the start of Christmas. And like I said, I've watched them all. Right. So Richard said, because this is a paid event, there is a limitation of 20 seats. So make sure if you want to go or you want to have a night out, start your Christmas do, have some fun and celebration with spirit, make sure you come and join the event as quickly. And they do food there as well, so it's lovely. So you could even get your Christmas meal sorted. Oh God, I've got to do that for work. That's my job for tomorrow at work. Okay, right. And also tomorrow, yes, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. We've got the lovely Bill Hughes back on, and I can never remember. It's conscious. Oh, we got Brie as well. Right, let's do this first. I've got Brie at 11 o'clock. I'm working from home, so I might pop on. Shh. We've got Brie at 11 o'clock, and then we've got Bill with the collective consciousness. Who's Bill got? Richard? I've got a lady. The producer will tell me in a moment. I know it's a lady, and so he'll be having a mate. I will definitely be on tomorrow night, popping on there. Hang on, Richard's just finding me who the lady is. I should have had prepared with me pet. Susan Hughes, no relation. That's fair enough. So Bill is with Susan in the afternoon, and we've got lovely Brie in the morning. Right, we've done our little bits, but in the meantime, you've got me for a little bit longer. Aren't you all lucky? Right, okay, let's do some more hellos. Let's get the energy buzzing back up again. And then we'll do another message from Spirit. So hello, Lulu from Facebook. Hello. Hello, Gillian. It's so lovely because I have lots of lovely people come over who followed my page to yourselves and vice versa. So it's brilliant. Hello, Mo from Facebook. Hello. Hello, Amy, and you are Facebook. We are rolling it with Facebook. Hello, Gemma, and you are Facebook with all the lovely hearts. Hello, Cheryl. Got lovely hearts there as well, and she's on Facebook. Hey, Kathy, how are you? You're watching from YouTube. Hello, Joanne. Lovely to see you. Loving the colours. Throat chakra, crown chakra going on. Hello, Melanie, and you're watching you from YouTube. Right. Hello, Sean from Facebook. How are you? Lovely seeing the hearts and rainbows. Hello, Mary Bell, and you're watching on Facebook as well. Right, we've done some more hellos. Richard, are you a psychic? Because that's exactly what I was just about. Richard said, right, when you're ready, I was like, I'm drawn, I'm ready to go. Right, okay. I've got somebody going on. Do you know what? I want to go to Lorraine, if that's all right, please. Shush, don't say no to me, Richard. I would like to. Richard, Richard, are you going to start singing? Richard's gone, it's my channel. I know you're the producer, Richard, but we're the ones that make you look good. He's going to I don't, exactly. He said, I don't need me. That's fine. I'm being cheeky. I probably won't ask me back for my show next week. Don't forget, my show's back on this month as well. Right, Lorraine, that was my own plug for my own show. Right, Lorraine, I'd love to come to you if that's all right. Angel, I know you're watching Facebook. Right, okay. I haven't figured out who I'm chatting to just yet because I've just been throwing loads of books for you at the moment, Lorraine. I don't know whether you've, I keep getting told readings, and I've got books. So I don't know whether you've recently sort of, because we're now moving into the darker months and you've kind of gone through your books and you've sorted your books out, or whether you've been talking about wanting to do readings and mediumship or doing tarots. This person just talked to me about reading straight away. That was the first thing I got with you. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm passing it over to you. I just kept getting readings, but obviously from a spiritual point of view, that could be doing mediumship readings, but I'll pass it over to you anyway. Right, okay. I need to give you the name Benjamin. I don't know whether that's somebody, a friend or a family member, but I know I've got to pass over the name Ben to you, Lorraine. Right, okay. I'll still figure out, yes, okay, and I'm glad that makes sense. I want to put loads of right, yes, okay, right, all right. Yes, I've just been told I want to put loads of purple around you, and I've got amethyst around you at the moment. So I don't know if you've recently bought some amethyst crystals or whether you've been talking about doing your spiritual growth and development, because I have got lots of purple around you at the moment, and I've got purple and I've got clear quartz. So there, thank you very much. This person, I will make the connection who it is in a minute once they stop giving me loads of information and just feeding it to me. It's like you're having a clarity, or you're feeling that you're able to feel your connection. And it feels like with Halloween and the veil thinning, it's a little bit like we've had a few whoa moments. Either you've seen more signs, or you're just finding that you're more aware, energetically aware of spirit around you, because it's just, this is the things that's coming through. Right, okay, now I need to recognize there's two ladies in spirit for you. I feel like I've got mum. If I haven't got mum, I've got a nan, but I've also got a lady, like a really good friend or a friend of the family. I don't want to call her an aunt, but I need to recognize a lady in spirit that's either your friend or would have been your mum's friend. Does that make sense to you, Lorraine? Does any of that part make sense? I know I've got a yes, and I could cheat and say it's a yes to everything, but that wouldn't be right. No, it wouldn't. But I know I want to recognise there's two people in spirit. Not sure about. Don't worry about the names. They're there. They're there. And you always wear the amethyst, so that makes sense. Brilliant. There is clear quartz as well, so there's some clarity going on around you, and I know I needed to recognise it. But I'll carry on with the message, because this lovely lady or ladies are just throwing me information at the moment. Right, okay, and purple's your favourite colour. Brilliant. Okay. Right, I'm just going. Right, I tell you what I wanted to give you next is, what is that about? Right, I'm getting loads of rainbows with you, Lorraine. Now, it's not my NHS rainbows, which is really weird considering I've just turned around and said, obviously, I use rainbows for the NHS, and it'll be your nan. Yes to everything. Thank you. And it'll be your nan. Okie dokie. When there's a lady in spirit, that's something to do with her in spirit anyway. But I want to give you rainbows. So I don't know whether you've got one of them, what are they called, like the little hanging lights that when they spin, wind chime kind of thing, but they've got the crystals and they spin and create rainbows on your wall, or whether you've got a coloured bit of glass. I've got something that's important about creating rainbows. Now, if it doesn't make sense, it's one of them things just to hold on to it, because you may well find that you walk through garden centres or something and then you see all of a sudden some colours. But it's like, I've seen them. It's like they've got the clear cut glass and it all spins round and it's all twirling. It creates all the rainbows, and it's like a wind chime, but not a wind chime. I need to find what that's called anyway, but I'll pass it over. Right, I'm going to get some names and pass over. So I need to give you the name John. I've been passed. I know it's a traditional name, but I need to give you the name John as well. I also need to recognise the name Mark, and I need to give you the name Andrew. Oh, you work for the NHS, right? Hold the rainbow part though, because that's important as well, so that you do work for the NHS. So I know I had the name John, I know I had the name Andrew, and I had the name Mark. I need to pass them names over to you. There's also another name I've just been given is Sophie. It feels more like a Sophie of a glass that casts rainbows. Ah, that's brilliant. Sophie or Sophia. It's a so name. So name. What does that mean? Oh my days. But I need to pass over the name. So I said I've got John, I've got Andrew, I've got Mark, and I've got like a Sophie, Sophia, and that needs to pass over to you as well. Right, let's get you some months. I need to talk about February's important, birthday, party, and anniversary. I need to give you the month of July as a birthday, party, and anniversary, and I need to talk about September as a birthday, party, and anniversary. And I've just said, can I have a date? Now, dates are a little bit hit and miss with me. They don't always correlate to the months I've given, but I need to tell you the 12th. So there'd be a birthday, party, and anniversary in or around on the 12th. So I'll pass that over. I asked for a date and she said the 12th. And your name's your partner. John's your partner. Okie dokie. Thank you, Lorraine. Right. And Sophie's my niece. Brilliant. Excellent. What else we got? Right. I don't know whether no, I think anybody that works in the NHS is and all those months of birthdays. Excellent, thank you. I don't know whether I think anybody that's a doctor or works in the NHS or is a teacher, do you know what? You're all absolutely amazing. And 12's my birthday. Yes, thank you, Lorraine. I can keep talking to you on Dan. But I feel like at the moment you've either contemplated is the word rather than actually chosen to do it, is either contemplated about changing your working environment. So either you're choosing to change your career or you're choosing to change how you work. Because the thing is, the way Spirit's coming through is that they're telling me you do healing in different ways. So I know we talked about earlier about all the crystals and the clarity and spirit and all the readings and things like that at the very beginning. She's just given me this feeling that it's like, okay, it's not a case of saying don't give the job up, because I don't feel like there's any desire to give up the job is what I'm feeling, but she's just sort of saying, okay, you do, what is that? So, yeah, I'm just going to say it. Somebody in, and I'm not talking about the government here, somebody isn't appreciating what you're doing at the moment, and they're contemplating whether you actually want to stay there, change of hours, move out of it, but stay within the NHS or something. That's basically what she's giving me. And she's kind of like, don't allow this person to make you feel pushed out, because she says to me, you do such a good job. Now, obviously, I've said that from my own personal point of view. It's a strong belief, but there is a sense of a feeling, don't allow this person to make you feel pushed out. You choose to move because you want to move. Now, I don't know whether that makes sense to you, but Lorraine, if it doesn't, just know that she is backing you in the decisions and choices that you want to make regarding your job and your career that you're in. Right, okay. Now, I've got a song. I've been quite quiet on songs tonight. Lorraine, yes, I said a small business in okay, brilliant, excellent. That makes sense as well. Lorraine, I want to go now. Either the name Penny, oh bless you, I know how you feel, my lovely. I've got the name Penny, but I'm also singing Penny Lane. She's in my ears, she's in my heart. Do 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 do. And Rich is now singing with me. We'll all sing along. So I don't know whether the name Penny has any relevance to you, or whether somebody loves the Beatles, or if it doesn't, just hold it, because you'll know that that song will come on shortly and you'll be like, ah, my nan's around you. Because I just got Penny Lane. No, Richard's just gone, it's 1967. I like the Beatles. You wasn't born then, Richard? I wasn't born, no, Richard, I wasn't born in 1967. So I don't know whether the year, Lorraine, 1967 has any relevance to you, but I know you've had a little sing-song regarding here. Right, okay. Also, okay, for you, Lorraine, to hold, because she's just talking to me about if you listen to Spotify or something, you'll find that your music's jumping, or you're just, there's something about something jumping, and it's either like the radio channel keeps getting disillusioned, because I've read that, either flickers and changes or moves. Just hold it if it doesn't make sense, because it just makes me feel that that energy. She was born in 1967. This is why I need Richard in my life, because I never even contemplated that songs. Yeah, which you could say in my life, that songs could also be the year. That makes sense, Lorraine, and thank you, Richard. Does that help? It was a double A side for Strawberry Fields. No, I didn't know that, Richard. I just know it's a Blue album. I knew it was in a Blue album because I like that song. Okay, well, Lorraine, I've just learned something from Spirit, that I should also look at the year the song was made, because it may well be relevant. Thank you, Spirit, as a lesson, and Richard, you helped me learn it. Thank you very much. But Lorraine, if you may find it either the radio or something's flickering and it keeps tuning in and out. Just check how you're feeling, because it will be about your family around you. But Lorraine, I will say thank you so much for being amazing and feeding back to me. It really does help with that connection. I'm so glad that I've learned something new. Spirit loves to do this to me in front of everybody, but hey ho, obviously I've got the shoulders for it. And Lorraine, I shall say thank you so much for allowing me to connect with yourself. Right. Okay, Richard, shall we? Yeah. No, yeah, no. Okay, let's go for another one because I've just looked at my clock and it's 2111. It's like 111. I keep seeing 111, everybody. New beginnings, new opportunities. So look out for your numbers as well. Right, let's go for another one, Richard. I keep getting lots of one. Richard. Well, apparently, we need to look at our numbers. As much as I think 111 is new beginnings, Richard has also said that 111 can also represent transformation. It can remember changing the circumstances. So it doesn't necessarily mean new beginnings. It could just be a change of circumstances. We learn a lot. We need to have Richard here in my year more often teaching us new lessons because I didn't know that. Although I'd still keep seeing 111 a lot at the moment, Richard. So changes are on my way. Right, let's do another one. So you come on the show with me, you learn something new. As I try. Oh God, he's giving me more information. Oh, another lesson. See, I will go quiet. So you need Richard to talk to me more often because I go quiet, everybody. He's just said 111 also means about being a spiritual and psychic teacher. Oh, Spirit, no, we're not doing that. And that's not Richard, that's Spirit, because Spirit just went, you, Claire, circles. And I've had lots of people ask me to do circles. That's another story, another day. Anyway, Richard, let's stop talking about numbers. Let's crack on. Exactly. But everybody's learning new numbers. So look out for your numbers because honestly, I never did. And now I see them everywhere. And no, Richard, no, not because I look at the clock all the time. Right, okay. I'll just wait. I'm beating Richard for the jokes. Right, okay. Right, where are we going? I know where I want to go. Oh. I've got a brother in spirit. I've got a gentleman. That's all right, don't worry. He's having a cough up, that's all right. I've got a brother in spirit. Right, okay. I normally, you know me, I'm like direct. I always go direct. I need to recognize about a brother in spirit. I need to recognize the name David, and I need to give the name David. And what else do I need to give you, sir? And I need to give you the month of May. Richard, that's you. Sorry, I wouldn't. Is it you, Richard? This is not good. Right, okay, Rich. Right, okay, Rich. Right, okay. Richard's just told me is his brother. Right, right. No, Richard, because it was, and I went, and I heard Richard, and I was about to, and I went, no, I'm talking Richard. Right, okay. I feel like I'm with our Richard. So my Richard, that's in my digital ear, you're going to have to comment so everybody can see your comments and then tell me. But if anybody else can take the other bits, I was told, okay, and Stacey can take it. Right, okay. Sorry, this has never happened before. And I know I stumbled over the name Richard and I was like, right, okay. I know everybody. I've got a brother.
So we've got Stace here saying that she has a brother called David and it's her birthday in May. As well. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hello. I do a deep voice here now. Wendy Watson is saying, I hope it's my brother as well. But what I said to Claire, when she said David, I said, that's my brother. He passed away in May. And I was only talking about him yesterday. So,
right.
But as I said, then I said, there's other people on here who can take it as well.
Right. So I've dragged him on live. So now you lot can hear what I have to put up with every day when I'm on here, not every day. Right, okay. Right, and I know I want to be, I'm going to be with Stacey as well because this could be a double link because we do like a double link. Yeah. However, as I was saying it, I then stumbled over going, not Richard. And I was like, hang on, that is Richard. So Richard, I am going to work with you,
okay.
But I'm also would like for you to sort of keep an eye on Stacey. And I know Hayley has said she can understand it all as well.
And Michelle
so we've got,
yeah,
and Michelle, right. So, and then so we'll just, what we'll do is, because this is likely to be a connection, you all make a connection. We're going to focus my energy and my attention to Richard, but I know that Stacey could take the name, and I asked for a name and he went and told me David was important. Right, okay. Right, oh, this is going to be interesting. Right, okay, come through, David. Right, okay. Richard, have you, I want to talk about decorating with you at the moment. I've got, if it's not you, Stacey. Richard, you have a voice. He does have a voice, Amy. I think what I have to put up with. Richard, have you looked, and I'm playing with my hair, but I'm not talking about your hair. That could be for Stacey. Richard, have you talked about changing something in the house or doing some decorating? If it isn't for you, it'll be for Stacey. But I know I'm playing with my hair for Stacey.
I'll tell you a little secret. I don't really want to give too much information away, but I couldn't decide if I wanted wallpaper up in one of my rooms. So I got some masking tape and I stuck the wallpaper up with masking tape to see if I liked it or not. And it kept falling down. So I thought, that's it. I'm not going to do it. So I haven't decorated it since. So my brother would see that as funny.
Right, because it is just like, have you actually decided to have a decision about decorating? Because it was more of a decision than anything else. So that makes sense. But I know I'm working with Stacey's brother as well. So I feel like, Richard, your brother and Stacey's brother, because you've got the same connections, even though your Mays are different, you're both your brothers have got the same name, because I need to recognise that. Right, okay. One of you, and my brother's alive. Okay, no problem, Stacey, but you can make the sense, because it could well be that that's where our connection.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but Stacey can understand the pain. Right, Stacey, can you understand about Eva? Because I'm pretty sure it's not Richard. Talked about changing your hair, whether you decided to put some highlights in there, Richard, I'm presuming.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of going blonde, love, you know.
Yeah. All right. So this is what I have to put up with, everybody. This is a first. But I know I want to change my hair as well. I've got to give the name Gavin. I've never done Gavin before. A Gavin. So this may not be for you, Richard. It may well be for Stacey. But I know I need to give Gavin as well. Right,
Gavin,
okay.
But I've got a brother called Gary.
You got a brother called Gary. Right, I got the G. Right, okay, so that makes sense. But Stacey may know. I heard the Gavin is the Ga bit I heard, and then it came out through. Right, okay. Come on, David.
Stacey is waiting to change her hair roots, apparently.
And oh, bless you. So you're doing the hair. We've all heard that Richard's going blonde at some point. Right, okay.
Cheek.
Don't worry, Stacey. We've got it with Richard. Now, I've got brother with card games here. So either somebody liked to play poker, or somebody had always either had a pack of cards, or it would be, I know it's a typical family thing, but there's something around about liking card games, and I've got like a poker, and it's right. Okay, thank you. Right, Richard, for you, I asked about the poker cards, and he said to me about either your brother was very sort of put a bit of a front on, because I've got poker, but I've got a poker face.
Doing poker.
There's the poker. But we need to, I'm not coming away from my face.
No, we always used to be playing poker at home with my brother as well, and the other family members.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so that makes sense for you. So but I know I need to acknowledge about being a poker face. And one of your brothers wasn't open about how they were feeling round themselves before they passed. I need to, and there's seriousness coming in here. So as much as we've got the poker for you, and you can take that, I need to recognise about not being open or upfront, or not letting on how they were feeling regarding their passing. I don't know whether that makes sense for you, Richard.
It does make sense. Yeah, it does.
Okay, and it may well make the sense. Okay. So everyone's got a treat to hear your voice. Right, okay, and let's Stacey, right, let's come through in here. Right, okay. I also need to give the name. I've already had that name before today. I need to give the name Andy. Andy or an Andrew. I need to recognise that name. Andy. It's Andy was more than an Andrew. I've just been told Andrew's far too formal. It would be an Andy is what I need to give as well.
Andy. Yep.
Okay, brilliant. That makes sense for you. Right, Stacey, I'll let you keep on going, because I know the message is important to you as well, Stacey, because I know we've had the little bits in there. Right, let's get some more months for you. Right, September's important and October's important. Birthday, parties and anniversaries in September and October. Now, remember, it may not be for you, my lovely Richard. It may well be for Stacey, but I know I need to recognise September and October. And I've just asked for a date, and they've given me the 24th. So birthday, passing out, anniversary in or around the 24th.
I know there's birthdays in both of those months. As to the date, let me check my phone. Oh, come on! Who knows all the dates in their head? I have a very large family.
Spirit know everything.
Did you say
right?
23rd?
Okay. 24th, but it'd be in or around. And it may not be one of them months. Remember, they like to throw the month out every so often. But I know I needed to give you the 24th. Right, okay.
Nah, you're useless. It's nothing. No. A week before that, I'll let you off.
This is what I have to put up with.
This is what I have to put up with everybody. It's terrible.
Don't you stop. Your brother, Rich, is laughing his head off at me anyway at the moment. He's as bad as you.
Yeah, but Stacey can do it, can take it. So there you go.
Yes. I was waiting for Stacey and Stacey. Okay, Stacey can take it. See, I'm not useless. Go away, Richard. Right, okay, Stacey, you can take September and you can take the 24th for your dad. Excellent. I hope everybody's enjoying this. Enjoying me sort of being in the middle going, oh my God. Right, okay. I'm back to right. What? No, this is not for you, Richard. This is for Stacey. Stacey, I know you talked about doing some decorating, but I've got artwork with you. So there's something about you either choosing to do something creative. Richard, I know it is a possibility, but we're not stretching for you. So you can. We're going to Stacey for 2 seconds, because I need to recognise either Stacey about you're missing an opportunity or you're not. There's something about you doing something creative. Now, I don't know whether it's working just with colour. Because sometimes when I get painting and creativity, it can be about you being a healer and working with colours. But I need to know about you. There's something around you at the moment, and either it's like an opportunity that's being missed, or it's something that you thought or considered about, because it's like you can do it. Right. So I need to put that in there for you, Stacey. And one of you, I think it's more Stacey at the moment than you, Richard. I will come back. Your brother's been quiet for 2 seconds. Somebody's talked about learning about the moon phases. Now, Richard, I don't know whether you've even had an idea for a new show. I don't know. I've just got moon phases in front of me and stars and astrology. So I don't know, Richard, whether you ever liked researching astrology or whether Stacey likes doing the moon phases and manifestation and stars. I just kept getting, when I look at Stacey's image, I kept just seeing lots of stars around us. So astrology. Does that make sense for you, Richard?
No, I used to have a telescope. That's about it.
No, I'm not stretching.
No.
Okay, I've been looking at a course. Okay, so Stacey's been looking at a course. Right. Okay, it could just be when I'm looking at the colours and I'm seeing all the spiritual stuff. It could just be that there's something that you can connect with, that you can connect with intuitively. So I need to just recognise it. But it's like there's something you're very capable. Right. Okay. Manifesting. I have moon cards. Okay, that's where Stacey is. So Stacey takes that bit. Right. Your brother's asking you why there have been lots of light bulb moments for you at the moment, Richard. Now I don't know whether that's been light bulb moments as in you've been having lots of new ideas, whether it's in your in SPTV or whether it's in there. But it's like I just keep being given with you lots of light bulbs. And I'm not looking. Funny enough, I've found out how your brothers are doing it. If I'm talking to Stacey, I look at her picture. When I'm talking to you, Richard, I see my own imagery. But I've got like lots of light bulbs around me, and your brother keeps giving me a light bulb, unless you've been having electric. Because he's like, he needs to start grabbing hold of these at the moment. But there's too many apparently. He says, well, you've got to kind of fix down. And so I don't know whether you've got lots of things in the grand scheme of things. Obviously I'm not in your workings of your mind, because I probably would think, why on earth have you got me on here? But that's another story. But I know he wants to recognise about these light bulb moments for you.
Yes, always coming up with ideas for SBTV, but and other ideas for projects and things. Yeah, so that would make sense.
But it's right. He's just said to me, but there's one where you keep going, There's one that keeps an idea that keeps reoccurring or bouncing up, because I keep seeing like the light bulbs on, the light bulbs off. So there must be, he's just getting you to sort of focus on what you want to do, because there's one that keeps either popping back in your mind or something like that. Is what, because I keep seeing the light bulbs on and off, on and off. And he's not, all right. And he just took the mickey out of you. And he went, well, he is a bit dim. That's not me. That's what your brother's just said. So I don't know whether that would be his type of humour. Because he went, yeah, he is a bit dim. I ain't getting involved in your
Well,
family domestics and spirit world.
he's cut off the
Right.
Christmas card list. Oh, he doesn't get one. Oh, yeah, never mind. Just want to quickly acknowledge Emma, who's here, who's taken a lot of this message as well. So, Emma, take what you can from it.
See, look, he's doing my job for me. How amazing. Look, not only is he my digital guide, he's your digital guide. Right, Stacey. Right, no, poor old Richard's just been told he's dimmed by his brother, but that's his sense of humour is what he gives me a feeling with. Oh, and there is something about a memory, and it might be for both of you, about sandcastles, because he's just talked about sandcastles. So I don't know whether either he was a typical mean brother that you'd make a sandcastle, or your brother Stacey at the moment would make a sandcastle and stamp over it. He's just that sense of humour is what I'm getting with him. But anyway, I'm going to come to Stacey, and then Richard, if there's anything left, I will obviously come back to you.
Absolutely.
Right, Stacey. I know we talked about the manifestation, the moon, and everything else. There is this creative, as you said, like a course, or there's some creativity going on about it. What he sort of says is you need to keep putting this gentleman. Obviously, we know it wasn't your brother because he's here, but there is a gentleman for you. You just need to take the doubt out of it at the moment. There's a doubt out of it, as I keep getting told. Take a doubt, and also he is drawing me to having my nails done. It's like, thanks, mate. But I need to recognise either for your now. So I don't know whether you're feeling a little bit anxious and nervous at the moment, or nauseous, shall I say, because that was coming through. But he's just talking, this person in spirit, this gentleman, he is, and it's not Richard's David, it's just another gentleman here. It is just giving me a feeling that it's like, do you know what? Take the doubt out of it. You can do it. And I need to give the name John. Now, whether that's for Richard or for you, Stacey, I need to give you the name John as well. So I need to pass over to John. And I got John, and I've also got a Jack. I've got a Jack or a Jacqueline. Jack, oh, you can take Jack as well. Stacey, it may be a Jacqueline, but a Jackie. But that would make differences. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to, Stacey, I'm going to say thank you so much. I know, Richard, you said there's, oh, it's your granddad. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Oh, there's a William as well. There's a William, but I want to use Bill more than anything else. So there's a William somewhere in the spirit for you, Stacey. I am going to close your connection down, Stacey. I know, Richard, you said there's another lady that can take everything, or take a good proportion of it. So please, and those that have got brothers in spirit, if it makes sense to you here in our hearts, not necessarily our minds, because that's what we want to create, then just know your message is coming through here. For you, Richard, I get a real, oh, it's a great friend. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Stacey. For you, Richard, I got a real sense of pleasure from your brother. He's like, I've got him on here. Everybody's heard what we as your mediums hear all the time. But he is talking about that there is an idea that keeps buzzing around your mind at the moment. I don't know where it is. I don't know whether it's to do with SBTV, real life, or whatever, work as I always call it. But there is a sense of a feeling that there's something that keeps bouncing in your mind. It's like time to sort of fix him for you, Richard. But he just popped in, I think, more to just say hi and say, I'm here. So, Richard, I'm going to close your connection.
Thank you very
can
much,
come
young
back
lady.
Behind it and speak to me in my ears instead. And I can see Stacey said thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
You're very welcome, Stacey. Right. Has he gone? Has he gone yet? No. Oh, he's back. He's gone. He's with me now. Oh, well. Right. Okay. Right. Richard has now told me on that note it's time to say good night. So don't forget, tomorrow we have Brie at 11 o'clock. We have a lovely Bill at 8 o'clock. You can watch SPTV via Facebook or YouTube. Remember, if one's wobbly, jump over the other one. And if you have had a reading with me or any of the mediums, please consider about giving a review, because it does allow us to grow. And please share out the page. And I'll just say a massive thank you to everybody, and my digital spirit guide, aka for Richard, for allowing us to have this digital platform to be able to connect to spirit world, and for you for sharing your energies. And on that night, I shall say have a lovely evening, and I shall speak to you and see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.